Bam. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, my peoples. We talking boxing, but let me kick this thing off by saying happy Tuesday, y'all. Come on now. If you're awake, if you breathing this morning, say thank you, God, baby. Yes, sir. Gave us another day to be breathing, to enjoy life, to enjoy the sweet science. Let me also kick this thing off by saying salute to those already in the building. Toy Mafia, Sai, Al Burger, Devin Ford, my peoples. Bam. Salute, fellas. We talking boxing. Y'all know how we doing it, man. We gonna kick this thing off with Top Rank making a move to the zone. You know, there was a lot of people who have been talking down Bob Arum. Oh, he don't even got a contract with ESPN no more. He's done. Top Rank is cooked. Well, they signed like a 5-year deal with the zone. So guess what? We're going to see a lot of talented fighters headed to the zone. This is why I try to explain to people, you know, the sanctioning bodies, the promotional companies, they're going to keep grinding. You know, Zuffa is not just going to run everybody out of boxing. Just like you're going to see young fighters and champions going to Zuffa, you're going to also see them going to Top Rank or going to Matchroom or going to Golden. You know, the promotional companies, they're not going anywhere. They're not being ran out of business. But this is a great move for Top Rank because if you think about it, there's a lot of talented fighters on there. And with them going to the zone, it's going to make it a lot easier to make those fights. You know, guys from Top Rank versus guys from Matchroom. And they could even do the same thing they did with Matchroom versus Queensbury. Remember that? They could do Matchroom versus Top Rank and have fighters from both sides. And look, yo, listen, Top Rank has a heck of a roster. Young fighters, up and coming, world champions. Bob Arum is in a good situation right now. I will put him on the spot, though. I don't know if y'all remember when Bob Arum called the zone the dead zone. You were like, oh, the dead zone over there. Now he's going to be on the zone, his fighters. Lawrence, you're professional boxing, sir, or amateur? I don't box, my guy. I'm too old already. Too old for that. I cover boxing, period. Lawrence, your play or any experience in amateur or pro? Oh, yes, I boxed as an amateur. Boxed as an amateur, only had one fight as a professional. But my peoples, listen. This move right here, like I said, is going to put a lot of fighters in a position where they'll be able to face, you know, Eddie Hearn guys versus Bob Arum guys. We're going to get that smoke. We're going to get that type of action. And it's a long-term deal. We're talking about 5 years. So come on now. Come on. This is definitely a good move. Now, I did read somewhere that Bob Arum is still going to be amicable with ESPN. So I think that could mean that we're going to see more fights on ESPN. But I have to say, Lawrence, what training for shoulder? I'm sorry, my brother. This is not an instructional video over here. I'm not giving classes, my G. We talking boxing. We talking about Top Rank. We talking about their move to the zone. We're not giving physical therapy over here, my G. You got the wrong spot for that. But again, my peoples, you know, salute to Bob Arum. I think that this is going to be a match made in heaven. You're going to have a lot of options. Now you know that it's a long-term deal. So with that being said, I'm expecting to see, you know, Keyshawn Davis, Xander Sayers, the guys, you know, some of the guys that you see in the previous image that I showed you. I'm expecting to see these guys stepping in the ring with some of Eddie Hearn's guys. So come on now, we're gonna get some good matchups out of Top Rank signing with the DAZN. And matter of fact, I got some information on here. Let me share it with you. I'll go ahead and read it myself. Check this out. Check this out. As of March 2026, Top Rank has finalized a multi-year deal to move its primary broadcasting to the DAZN following the expiration of its 8-year deal partnership with ESPN on July 2025. The new DAZN deal includes 8 to 10 live fight cards per year. That means that we're going to get a lot of fights from Top Rank on the DAZN. 8 to 10 cards per year. So almost every month, Top Rank is going to have a card for us. On Lace Kicks, Berlanga just signed to Zuffa as well. I mean, with Berlanga, I was kind of expecting it. I think could this mean that Chris Eubank Jr. is going to Zuffa boxing? But honestly, with Berlanga, I was kind of expecting it. Guys that are on his level, I think a lot of them will go to Zuffa. You know, guys that are good, but they're not at the top. You know, they're going to get cooked by the top dogs. But a level below that, they'll be able to do good. They'll be able to stand out. You know, I don't think, but like I told you before, I've been off of the Berlanga bandwagon for a long time already. I think in Zuffa, he can find some level of success. Jeru, hopefully the Top Rank cards won't be pay-per-view. I don't think they will, simply because in most cases, they never have been. You know, Bob Arum so far has done a great job of staying away from pay-per-view unless it's like a major, you know, like 2 superstars. He'll put them on pay-per-view. But for the most part, he's never done that. So I'm not expecting him to start doing it now. Khalid the Comic. What's good, bro? Salute, family. Bam. So again, I'm happy to see Bob Arum make that move. I think that they're going to do good at the DAZN. There's going to be a lot of options. Obviously, in-house, Bob Arum, they have a stable of fighters. But like I said, it's going to be a lot easier for him to match up his fighters with guys from Matchroom and make those fights. Now that they're both on the same side of the street, they're both on the DAZN. Yes, sir. That's a plus. That's gonna be good for us, the fans. My people's Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Come on, man. Cody the Comic. No more turkey money. They got to work together. And they're going to work together. They're going to make that money together. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. They've been going back and forth on social media. You know, I have a feeling we're going to get that fight this year. Bill Haney, you know, mentioned that they'll go out, you know, they'll take care of Rollies first and then handle Ryan Garcia. I think they're already building that fight up. If you see on social media the activity between Ryan and Dev, the way that they're going back and forth, I think they're setting it up to do that fight. Obviously, the Rollies fight is going to be the priority right now. They'll get to unify titles with Rollies and show up to that Ryan Garcia fight with 2 titles, looking to unify a 3rd one. So it'll be a good situation. But the way that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are going back and forth, I have a feeling we get that rematch this year. And it's going to be a very much anticipated rematch. Like, come on now. How much bigger can it get? The first fight, Devin Haney was the champion. Ryan Garcia was not going to be able to take the title away because he showed up 3 pounds overweight. He wins the fight, pummels Devin badly, but pops dirty. Devin Haney sues, overturns the decision to a no contest. And now we all want to see what really happens if Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight each other. at the welterweight division where they both have looked the best they ever have in their career. But let's say both of them make weight, both of them are clean. What happens in that fight? Carly the Comic, Devin versus Rollie next, and Ryan versus Ben. We need that. Then Ryan versus Devin too. So here's the thing. Conor Ben already has his opponent locked in. So Ryan Garcia, he could have a fight. He could have a fight. Don't get it twisted. Greg Hackett in the building. Greg Hackett, you up early, my G. Salute, my brother. Yo, Greg, when you going to join me on the show, bro? When you going to come through and politic with the peoples? But this fight right here, ladies and gentlemen, I really do believe that we're going to see it. Does Ryan really want to fight this Conor Ben first? I don't know, because if he take a L versus Conor Ben, there goes the Ryan versus Devin fight taking a back seat once again. It goes in the back burner if Ryan takes a L. So right now, Devin is interested in Ryan Garcia because Ryan got that title. He got that belt. The stock is up. You didn't see. Look, matter of fact, I seen Arnold Barboza saying, "Oh, I'm the perfect fight for Ryan Garcia." So obviously now with him being a champion, the stock is way up. And a lot of people want to fight Ryan Garcia. More than ever right now. So Devin is like, damn, hold on. I want to get up in there. I want to make sure he don't take another L and fumble the bag for both of us. So that's why I believe if they know they're going to make the fight, that they're going to fight each other. And Greg Hackett told me this the last time we spoke. Ryan Garcia is not going to get in there with an opponent that's just going to take it from him. It's his first title and all. He enjoying being a world champion. Is he going to risk it versus a guy like Conor Ben? I don't know, bro. I don't know that he's going to. That it's tough for me to see it. But I will say, I'm looking forward to see who Ryan Garcia is going to fight next. Oh. For a moment there, I thought that it might be Shakur, the way that they were going back and forth, but that's not going to happen. And I thought that it might be Devin. That's not going to happen next because Devin, it looks like it is going down with Rollies. So, I don't see Ryan just sitting around and waiting. Is he going to wait for Devin and Rollies to fight, stay inactive, and then wait for Devin so they can fight each other? I don't know. I see him having at least one fight. Carly the Comic. I think the Ryan versus Devin can always be made even if they both took a L. They just got that magic to make the fight. They can fight each other a few more times before the end of their careers. Yes, but look, remember that they were supposed to fight each other after that card in Times Square. And Ryan lost to Rollies. That's why Devin ended up going in a different direction. But they were supposed to fight at that point. Ryan losing, he fumbled the bag for both of them. So, I tell you what, if Ryan was to lose his next fight versus whoever, he won't be fighting Rollie after that. He won't. Maybe in the future, but he has to be coming off of a win, a good win, to now reattract Rollie's interest in the fight. If he loses, Rollie gonna be like, oh, nah, you're a bum. I'm not fighting you. Underrated Will, for sure. What I want to see. And this is a super anticipated fight. This rematch, you just got to think about it. It's not just about the way that the first fight played out, which we know Ryan Garcia beat him up. Beat him up. Yes, we know that part. But we know about the 3. We know about the positive test. So we have to see how it plays out on an even playing field. Cody the Comic. Rollie might have Ryan's and Davis number. That would be nuts. That would be nuts. But I see a lot of people sleeping on Rollies and saying that, Devin is going to wash him. Devin's going to make it look easy and all of that. I don't see it that way. You know, I haven't made a prediction on that fight. If I had to right now, I would be going with Devin, of course. He's going to be the favorite to win it. But all I'm saying is, Rollies is right now the best version of himself. His last outing versus Ryan Garcia, he's looked better than ever. So you can't really sleep on Rollies, And it's not about the triangle theory. It's not about him beating Ryan Garcia, so that means he could beat Devin too. No, it's not about that. The triangle theory, that doesn't work. But it does show how good Rollies is. That's that left hook that kept popping Devin Haney over and over. He couldn't find Rollies with it. Couldn't find him. Shaku hands. Salute, family. Bam. Wake up and smell the coffee. That's what I'm talking about. Cody the Comic. He used to beat up on both of them at Mayweather Gym back in the day. He was the Debo to them. Look, I don't remember who was it that told me this. I think it may have been Greg Hackett, who told me that Devin used to be putting hands on both of them. He used to be putting hands on them in the gym. So, Rollies. Rollies used to be putting hands on all of them in the gym. So he felt confident. He felt confident fighting Ryan Garcia and felt like he was going to beat him and beat him. But we have to see now how things are going to play out. Because now Rollies is going to have to see Devin. And we have to wonder, okay, we know that Ryan Garcia is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson next. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But Bill Haney already said it. We're going to take care of Rollies and then Ryan Garcia. That's their plan for now. Then before Clarissa Shields can beat Rollies. Man, that back and forth has been crazy. And then Rollies, I almost wanted to feel bad for him because he was like, I don't know why she always be targeting me. He acted like he getting bullied, man. Stop playing. Cody the Comic, Rollie was killing on Mayweather Gym. I think he had to beat Ryan in the gym to get the tank fight. I don't know what he had to do, but it's obvious that he was putting in that work. He was putting in that work. And you could see that Rollies, he's about that smoke. The only boogeyman to Rollies, the only person he don't want to fight, let's keep it a buck. There's only one person that Rollie knows he don't want that action with. He know who he don't want to fight. Shakur Stevenson. Yes, sir. Rollies know what happens if he fights Shakur. He know he get cooked. Cooked, I tell you. So he don't even like saying Shakur name or don't want nobody around him saying Shakur name. But if you think about it, outside of Shakur, Rollies is willing to fight everybody and anybody. He's shown us that. He's shown it. Already got in the ring with Tank Davis. Already fought Ryan Garcia. Got that W. Now about to get in the ring with Devin Haney. Come on now, my peoples. Rollies is about that smoke. Outside of Boogeyman Shakur, Rollies willing to get in there with anybody. Cody the Comic, Shakur, no. He don't want to fight Keyshawn. They don't want to fight each other, but if you want to frame it like that, goddamn. You want to frame it that way, have at it. I'm pretty sure they don't want to fight each other. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But I digress. Because Shakur's the boogeyman. Everybody's scared of Shakur. Right now that he's bringing in that paper, $10 million paydays, now people going to want to get in there with Shakur. It's about that money. It's a business, right? So he's going to attract some attention. But people scared to death. They scared. B.O.B. Erling Pounding. Keyshawn, my favorite fighter. Keyshawn Davis, a special fighter, man. And now that Top Rank is going to DAZN, we're going to see a lot of possibilities for the fights that they're going to be making. Devin Ford. He has an awkward style. Call it a comment. Keyshawn versus Rollie would be good. Ooh, that's a good fight. Keyshawn versus Rollies, that's a heck of a fight. I love to see it. Underrated Will, that paper. Ow, how does Rollie keep getting these big fights with big names when they say he average at best? The thing is, man, Rollies is very underestimated. Very, very underestimated. He's a lot better than people give him credit for. That's one. And two, I mean, look at the resume. He's already been a champion. He's a reigning champion right now, as a matter of fact. He's a reigning champion this very moment. So he's a two-time champion already. Remember, he won his first title, and then he lost it versus Pitbull, and now he's a world champion again at the welterweight division. So you got to respect him. You got to respect Rollies. And think about his last fight with Ryan Garcia, how he looked. That jab to the body, that consistent jab, the patience. Rollie was not a brawler, was not out there just, Nah, took his time and beat Ryan systematically. A systemic beating. Dropped him early, hurt him, and that's it. He owned him after that. Ryan Garcia never really got going. It's almost like he was shy with the punch output because he saw what was coming back at him. Rollies look real good, my peoples. I've said it before. His fight versus Ryan Garcia, he was the best version of himself. We never seen Rollies look that good. So, and that's what I'm saying. For those who say that Devin is going to wash him, that Devin is going to make it look easy, it's not really going to be like that. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an interesting showdown. The letter M. Debo Rollies. Yo, they was in the Mayweather gym. All of them used to be sparring. Supposedly was Debo Rollies on all of them. Shakur Hands, he's a different guy. The Hydro Grind in the building. Salute the Hydro Grind. Bam. Yo, the Hydro Grind, you be showing up early for the show. You see, you be showing up early for the show. But if something happened and you get cooked, you be showing up right when the show is about to finish. If you got cooked the next day, you show up like at 9:40. Yo, what's up? My bad, I'm late. I was doing something. Now you early, right? Shakur Hands. He had to work on himself. Look, man, whatever Rollies did and has been doing with Team Salas, Coach Ismail Salas got Rollies on point, man. Got him looking real good. Got him looking real sharp. Gotta respect it. Gotta respect it, you know. That's why I say it's hard for... I haven't been able to make this prediction right here. Why? Because I know there's going to be a real good fight. There ain't nobody getting washed. Rollie's not out there to get cooked. The Hydro Grind, ¿es a coincidence? Está bien. Vamos a creerte. Devin Ford. He's a mauler, Rollie. Rollie the mauler. Listen, bro. Rollies is not that brawler that he used to be. He not, bro. Eastern Orthodox Christian. My 1 year versus your 1 year. I don't know what that means. The letter M. Rollie with discipline is different. He is, bro. You see, I thought Ryan Garcia was going to knock him out. My expectations, right? But I did not expect Rollies to go out there outboxing Ryan Garcia. My train of thought was Rollies is going to show up and just try to apply pressure and brawl, and he's going to get caught slipping. Ryan Garcia is going to catch him with that lightning quick left hook in between punches. Bang! Catch him with a little chuck left hook. Bang! And hurt him badly. That never happened. There was never a moment where you saw Rollies looking careless on the inside, just letting the hand go, the looping punches. Nah. Rollies was out there focused, following a specific game plan, using that jab to the body consistently. That's how he was able to catch Ryan up top. Jabbing him to the body. Then he went up, bang, upstairs, caught him slipping. The Hydro grind. Rollie is super focused right now, man. Now that he's a welterweight champion, and this obviously is going to be the biggest fight of his career. He's fighting Devin Haney. He could potentially become a unified champion. That would be a new accomplishment for him. Rollies, unified champion, that would be big. Being the first guy to beat Devin Haney, that would be huge for Rollies. You're talking about the biggest win of his career. He's really trying to get that. The Hydro grind, I saw his last interview. He's zen. He focused, bro. He's focused. And he's going to give Devin Haney a heck of a fight. That's why I told you, man. I'm not ready to... I am going to make a prediction, but I'm not ready to make it. Eastern Orthodox Christian. Then Tank went under like a man should be. Look, man. Tank Davis is going to be back in the mix this year. This year, Tank Davis is going to be in the mix. So, don't sleep on Tank. See, that's the thing about inactivity. Or when you're dealing with legal situations. People stop talking about your name the way that they should. You know, we should be talking about Tank next fight. Or he's going to fight and he's going to beat this guy. Or he's going to do this or that. But... because Tank is not active, because he's not out there, because we're not seeing him. And if you think about it, Tank fought last year. It's not like he's been inactive forever. Right? He fought. But it feels like he's inactive a lot longer because he has been dealing with these legal issues. We've been talking about more about the legal stuff than Tank actually fighting. Ow. A focused Rollie versus a focused Ryan is making for a good rematch. That's a good rematch. That's a real good rematch, bro. I like that fight. I really do. Shakur hands. Only people inactive forever are the Texas guys. Oh, man. Jermel and Jamal Charlo, bro. Both Jermel and Jamal inactive. Then, of course, you got Errol Spence. He's inactive. Then, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Texas. They got to get back in the game. The letter M, the first guy, hold up. If we don't count a belt, then we don't count taking away the L. I mean... we have to take into account that Devin Haney doesn't have an L anymore. He had an L in his record, but he don't have it no more. Eastern Orthodox. Anthony is such an animal. Young Guns in the building. So family, bam. We're gonna be making predictions about this fight. But all I'm telling you is, don't sleep on Rollies. Don't just assume that he's going to get washed out there. Because it's going to be a good fight, fellas. It's going to be a real good fight. Bam! Moving on. Tyson Fury versus AJ, my people. This actually happen next year. Not next year, at the end of this year. This fight may actually happen at the end of this year. The Hydro grind, winner versus Ryan. So I don't know what Ryan Garcia is going to do next. Because he said that Shakur ducked him. He also said that Devin is ducking him. But Devin is going to fight Rollies. I don't know. Ryan wants to fight that rematch with Devin. But if he loses, then let's see what happens. How does it play out? But there's a potential, my peoples, for us to get Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Whoa. Young Guns, really great news. Surprised AJ still wants to fight after that accident. So I've already seen an interview of him saying that he was gonna fight, that he was gonna come back, obviously take his time for the rehab process and mentally too. But I think he even said that his guys wouldn't want him to keep fighting. They wouldn't want him to quit because of them, basically. So, and I think it's the right thing to do. I think, those was his guys that was getting him, ready for his fights. And I believe that they would have wanted him to keep fighting. The letter M, Fury beats AJ by constant jabs. The Hydra grind. I thought AJ would take a few years off or simply retire. Side, who we got, AJ or Fury? Ooh. Listen, this fight, yes, it should have happened 6-7 years ago when they were both undefeated. But if they fight each other, we all watching. Let's be honest, my peoples. We all watching if they fight each other. There's still a certain level of interest in that fight. Out. AJ fully recovered from the car accident. Don't use that as an excuse if he loses. I mean, they use that as an excuse for Errol. So, I don't know. Like, I think they're always, when people don't like a fighter, they're always finding an excuse. So there's always going to be an excuse, for either guy, depending on which side you're on. But ultimately, I have to say, AJ versus Fury is a fight that has to happen because we missed it when it should have, but it still has to happen just because we want to watch it. We want to see who's going to beat who. And I guarantee you the opinions are going to be divided. A lot of people are going to say, nah, Fury got him. AJ's not the same anymore. And then there are those that will say, nah, AJ got this. Fury's not the same anymore. Remember, they're both in their late 30s. Young Guns. I'm going to wait to see how Fury looks in his next fight before I make a prediction. I mean, Fury does have an opponent lined up. And, he's got to look good. He's got to look good out there. And I feel like Fury has a chip on his shoulder. You know why? Because remember what happened to him with Francis Ngannou, right? That's still fresh in our mind. Like, yo, Francis Ngannou done beat the shit out of you. Come on now. In his boxing debut, that was an exhibition, but his boxing debut, Francis Ngannou beat the crap out of Tyson Fury. So even though it was an exhibition, even though it didn't add a loss to his record, that's still fresh on our mind. Now he got to step up and look good versus this very next opponent so that we can say, yeah, okay. Now we need Fury versus AJ. He got to deliver. Shaggy, salute, my brother. Bam. Ow. AJ chin is suspect, bro. Really suspect. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe that his chin is suspect. And I'm going to tell you why. If you look at the times that AJ been hurt, it's been versus, being hit by monster shots. Remember when Ortiz caught him with that shot in the dome piece? I mean, Ruiz. I said Ortiz. When Andy Ruiz caught him with that shot to the melon, bro, that would have knocked off anybody's equilibrium. Any fighter would have been there, they would have went down just like him. So he, I would say it's more about him sometimes being defensively irresponsible. He likes to stand tall, and he's standing tall in front of his opponent with the hands down, boom, and just has gotten caught with some big shots. Big shots. It's kind of like when they say Amir Khan got a glass chin. Have you seen the punch that Canelo stopped him with? Canelo caught him with a punch that it almost looked like it damn near spun his head a whole 360. Boom! Bro, 100 people get hit with that punch. 100 people go to sleep. 100 people. So you have to look at the shot that hit somebody. Side, but I'm giving you an example so you can see. Look at the shots that sent Amir Khan sleeping. Those are shots that'll send anybody to sleep. So is it a glass chin or just he had a bad defense? His defense he was real fast, real sharp, but Amir Khan's defense, sometimes it was problematic. Sometimes it was problematic. But if you just, all I'm asking you, take a look at the shots that he got hit with. The punches that he got hit with. It was nasty, bro. They would have slept anybody. Anybody would have went to sleep with those punches. You know when I say somebody got a glass chin? When they go down from a punch that didn't look so hard. Orthodox Christian, you talking too much out of topic. First you want therapy for your shoulder. Now you want to talk about Jake Paul. You got to go to another channel to do that. We don't got time for you. You out of here. You a dummy. Let's get that dummy out of here. Searching for too much attention. Young Guns, I noticed AJ gets caught going for the finish. Why Ruiz, Klitschko, Dubois all call him bad. See, that's the thing. When you hurt somebody, you could be irresponsible with the defense and get hurt. Amir Khan, he had moments where his defense was non-existent. He got hurt. He got caught with big shots. So it's a big difference between getting hit with a big shot that would have knocked anybody out versus having a glass chin. A glass chin is somebody who get hit and goes down from a shot that wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that big of a shot. It dropped him. The drop your ass hurt you with a jab. Like, god damn, bro, you all right? That's a glass chin. But you get caught with a monster shot, boom, and you go down. Oh, he got a glass chin. God damn, bro, you see the type of shot he got hit with? Got hit with some bombs. Got taken out by bombs. So all I'm saying is, before thinking that a fighter just has a glass chin, take a look at the punches that caught him. Will anybody else survive those punches? The letter M, Amir Khan believed his defense was elite, and it wasn't. Shakur has, yes, I wouldn't fight. I mean, I would say he had good defense. He just had great offense. In his prime, he had great offense. Hand speed was crazy. And, you know, when you have that type of hand speed, you can also get away with some things. And he did. But later on in his career, he started getting caught with those shots, started slowing down just a little bit, and he paid the price. But, you know, Amir Khan, if you look at the punches he got hit with, does he got a glass chin or he just got hit with hard-ass punches? Those type of punches drop anybody. Anybody going down from that. Side, that punch Bud dropped Khan with in the first round. But I'm going to tell you like this. There was a body shot that Crawford caught him with. Bang. I don't know if you're talking about that one. The stoppage. Amir Khan tried to act like it was a low blow. In that fight, my brother, he quit. He quit versus Terrence Crawford. And he didn't want to admit it. Because he kind of acted like it was a low blow and like he couldn't keep going. And like, and then they stopped it. And he was like, he didn't quit. Crawford told him, you quit. You quit. Crawford made him quit. Caught him with a nasty shot to the body. And he was like, yeah, I don't want no more of this. I'm done. I'm done with this fight. The letter M. You remember he was trying little Mayweather shoulder rolling? And that wasn't him. A little bit of both. His jaw got exposed to the world. Side. Now he clipped him in the chin and dropped him in the first round. Oh, yeah. And he quick to a leg punch. He quit to a leg punch. He tried to say it was a low blow. The Hydro Grind. Adames versus Amo next. Of course, my brother. Of course. What you think? I wasn't gonna talk about that? Side Braden smoked him badly, bro. Beat him up. Damn Ford. He knew what was coming. KO either way. That's facts, my guy. So my peoples. Austin Ammo versus Carlos Adames on Saturday. You guys may recall this fight was supposed to happen in January and it got postponed. Carlos Adames had the flu right before the fight and they had to postpone it. It's going down, my peoples. And look, this fight I'm looking forward to it. I had a lot of people tell me that Amo's gonna get him. Like, nah, Jay. Carlos Adames gonna take a L on this one. I'm going with my boy. I'm going with my boy to get the W on this one. Telling you that right now. Carlos Adames. Look, man. Adames, his career, it has played out such a way. It's like, damn, there's opportunities that could have almost been right there for him, but they wasn't. Like, let me give you an example. When Canelo was fighting at 160, this could have been a possibility, Carlos Adames and Canelo Alvarez, but Canelo wasn't going his direction. Adames didn't have the name like that. And, you know, Adames has been a world champion. Been defending. But he just hasn't been able to get those big fights. He hasn't been able to get those names in the ring with him. Dodger Ryan, hit the like, my people. 23 and hit 15. Like, come on, man. The ghost watching, fellas. We really doing the ghost watching over here and the sneak hating. Double tap that screen. The Hydro Grind side. Hopefully he's fully healthy and ready to go. Fighting Orlando, so at least weather won't be a problem this time around. And look, I feel like Carlos Adames is going to be looking to show out, put on a show, because he needs it. You know, he needs the opportunity to fight the big names. But in order to do that, he got to keep winning, right? You got to keep beating the guys that they put in front of you. So, we could potentially got that Bud versus Adames fight if Johnny Beck didn't test positive. Man, look, that's something that I was so hoping for when Crawford said that he was going back down to 160. And, you know, with Adames being a 160 champion, I said, damn, maybe this fight could actually happen. Bud versus Adames. But then Mauricio Sulaiman did that dummy shit on Crawford. And Adames is the WBC champion. So I was like, yeah. Crawford ain't going to be fighting Adames anymore. That's it. That's done and over with. Devin Ford, Adames tough night for anybody. And he should have got the W versus Hamza Shiraz. He should have got the W. They gave it a draw because His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh was there. Hamza Shiraz was his guy. That was his show that he put on. But come on, man. He beat him. The letter M, don't sleep on William. He chin checks him. It can be over. Now, look. Williams can fight. He can fight, and he's there to win. He's a dangerous opponent because he's confident in himself. He's skilled. He got power, but he's going in there feeling like, yeah, I'm going to beat this guy up. A confident fighter can be a dangerous fighter. MAW, Adames versus Amos should be an entertaining fight. They're going to go at it. It's going to be, I expect it to be competitive. The Hydro Grind, I got Adames by KO. It's hard for me to say it's going to be by KO because Austin Williams can fight, bro. He can fight. Tay, Adames got too much experience for Amo, in my opinion. See, I think experience can be a factor. I got Carlos Adames winning this fight. How far does it go? I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. It could go the distance. But, you know, if Carlos Adames hurt you, he's going to look to finish. He's not looking to go the distance. The Hydro Grind. Anything interesting in the undercard? There's one fight that I saw that I can't remember. I think that the main card is just going to be 3 fights. There was one that I saw there, but I can't remember who, to be honest. No big names, but there was somebody on there. I just can't remember right now for some reason. So this fight, my peoples, is going down on Saturday. Y'all know what it is. I'm going to be calling the action live. I'm telling you right now, I don't need no time to make my prediction. I got Carlos Adames winning this fight. Not just because he's my Dominican brother. Not just because of that. You guys know when it's time for me to make a prediction, I go with the winner regardless of where they from. I'm going with Carlos Adames because I feel like he's the guy who's going to win this fight. I've already seen enough from both of them, made my assessment. I got Carlos Adames winning. I'm not willing to say right now that he's going to knock him out. Maybe I'll get into that. But I expect a competitive fight. I dub boxing. Salute, family. Bam. It's going to be a good fight. I can pretty much guarantee you that. My peoples, here's the magic question. Now that we know Devin Haney's most likely going to fight Rollies and then Ryan Garcia next. We know that for sure. We know Tank Davis is coming back. And it's being reported that Tank is going to fight potentially Pitbull Cruz. Teofimo Lopez has said he's going to the welterweight division. So here's the magic question for you guys. What is next for Shakur Stevenson? Who should he fight next? Who should be Shakur Stevenson's next opponent? We know that he wanted that smoke with Ryan Garcia, but they couldn't come to an agreement when it comes to the weight. Ryan Garcia first said, I'll meet you at a catch weight of 144. Then he said, I'll fight you at 140 and take your belt. But then he took all of that off the table. And it's like, yo, you gotta fight me at 147, no rehydration clause, no nothing. And Shakur wasn't having that, which that wouldn't have been a smart idea. That wouldn't have been a good move. So if we're not going to get Shakur versus Ryan Garcia, we're not going to get Shakur versus Devin, of course. Who does Shakur Stevenson fight next? Or who should he fight next? That's the magic question. Should Shakur stay at 140 and challenge somebody over there or defend? Or should he go to 135? It's okay to rap for your peoples. The Hydro Grind, Shakur versus Opataya at 135. I like that fight. And I'm going to remind you that last year, Shakur actually tried to get the fight with Opataya. And they wasn't having it. They didn't want to hear it. But at that time, Opataya wasn't a champion. Shakur was trying to actually give them a title shot. And they didn't want to take it. So I guess now he's going back down to 135 and trying to holler at Opataya. Underrated Will, Lamar Roach. I seen that Lamar Roach supposedly already has an opponent lined up. Can't remember who it was. But I'm almost sure Lamar Roach has an opponent lined up. Look, I would have enjoyed watching that fight. Shakur Stevenson versus Lamar Roach. Which I even think if Shakur was to fight Lamar Roach, that puts a certain level of pressure on Tank Davis. Because then it says, damn, look, this guy that you struggle with, that you got to draw with, Shakur beat him. Beat him. And that's the biggest fight to make, man. Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis, that's the fight to make. It's just that Tank don't want to make it. Look, Tank said something that in a way I understood it, but then I felt like he took it a little bit too far. Here's what he said. If a fighter disrespect him, He won't fight him. He's not going to get in the ring with him. He's not going to give him that opportunity, get him to make that bag. And I respect that, right? If a fighter disrespect me, I'm not fighting him. He said that to Gilly the Kid. And then, but Gilly told him, I never really seen Shakur disrespecting you or call you a bitch or nothing crazy like that. And then Tank said, yeah, but he said that I don't dare get in the ring with him. That's disrespectful. You see, that's a bitch move by Tank right there, saying those words. That Shakur's disrespectful by saying that he don't dare get in the ring with him. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's not disrespectful. That's trash talking. When you say that's disrespectful, that's like you looking for any excuse to say, look, he disrespected me. I'm not fighting him. That's you're looking for anything. That's trash talking. Trash talking is part of the game. For him to say Tank don't dare fight me, that's not disrespectful. That's like saying show me otherwise. Call my bluff. IW Boxing, Roach versus Williams Opataya for the next vacant WBC lightweight title in the summer. There you have it. Lamar Roach versus Opataya. That's a good fight. I like that fight. The letter M, Shakur Stevenson versus Gary Antoine Russell. Ooh. See, I like that fight. And it will be at 140. Gary Antoine Russell's a champion as well. That will be a unification. I like that fight. Now, I do got to say, Gary Antoine Russell obviously doesn't have the name of a Ryan Garcia, of a Devin Haney. So I don't know if that's going to be something that makes Shakur hesitant about that fight. It's not as big of a fight. And then if it's not as big of a fight, does he just go to 135 and fight Opataya instead? Cass, salute, Jay. Top of the morning, my brother. Bam, the Hydro grind. Roach is fighting Opataya for the vacant title. And I like that fight. Lamar Roach versus Williams Opataya. I think that they're going to give us a good showdown. They both have a real good style. Williams Opataya coming off of a loss. Did he fight already? After losing to Shakur? Didn't he fight? I'm lost. Did Opataya fight recently? Or his last fight is versus Shakur? Took a beating to Shakur. Made to look easy. But, you know, at this point, we don't know what's next, bro. We don't know what's next for Shakur Stevenson. IW said, no, this will be Opataya's first fight back. Yeah, because we was talking about it the other day, how, you know, Ryan Garcia lost to Rollies, and he got a title shot right after. Canelo Alvarez lost to Bud Crawford. He's getting a title shot right after. And Williams Opataya lost to Shakur Stevenson. Title shot right after. And it's just a coincidence. The letter M. Shakur was Opataya's last fight. Word. And there you go. He got another title shot right away. But it's just a coincidence. You know, Mauricio Sulaiman is not trying to look out for the Mexicans or nothing like that. Coincidences happen. But, again, my peoples, I hope that Shakur Stevenson is going to get a fight, you know, later this year. You know, July around there, August. And maybe even fight again at the end of the year. Because that's the thing. Shakur has to be active, too. He got a great win over Teofimo Lopez. But you guys know inactivity is the enemy of a fighter. Roach been active. See? Lamar Roach been active. He been getting after it. Shakur hands. Mauricio the goofiest of the goofiest. Hands down. Man, Mauricio Sulaiman is a funny dude. IW Boxing. TJ Donahue lost to Inoue at 22. And his next fight, he got a title fight at 26 versus Nick Ball. Coincidence? I mean, he moved up. He moved up to another division, got a title shot. It happens. The Hydro grind. I like Shakur at 135. He can fight Opataya for the IBF. Get WBC title back from Herrera. And if Tank is back and ready, they can make a huge unification fight for all belts. Bro, Tank is not a champion at 135 anymore. That's it. He done with that title. And Tank is going to be fighting at 140. Jay says, good morning, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go. Salute, family. Bam. My peoples is 30 in the building. Not even 20 likes. There ain't no need for the ghost watching. There ain't no need for the snake hating. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. So, look at some of the fighters that will be on the zone soon. We talking about Emiliano Vargas, Xander Sayas, Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason. My peoples. Some young guns are headed to the zone. Bob Arum is bringing the squad over there. That's why I'm thinking to myself, yo, the same way that they did Matchroom versus Queensbury, now they're going to be able to also do Matchroom versus the zone. I mean, Matchroom versus Top Rank. I like it. There's a lot of fighters on both sides. A lot of fights that it was going to be hard to make them because obviously Top Rank was on ESPN. It gets them a step closer to making some of those big fights between the two companies. The letter M, Baby Vargas is going to be a star. He's going to be a huge star, bro. Fernando Vargas is doing a great job with his sons. Bringing them up slow, nice. Stepping them up slowly in competition. Developing them. And they look real good, man. They look good. Hydro Grind. Tank got stripped of the WBA. I thought they put him champion recess, something like that. I think they put him champion in recess, but he's already going to be going to 140. So that's it. He's going to go from champion in recess to not champion at all. Either they're going to strip him or he's going to vacate. He's probably just going to let him strip him. But I'm telling you, we'll never see Tank Davis fight in the 135 division again. Remember, before the whole Jake Paul stuff collapsed, he had already announced, he had already said on social media that he was either going to fight Manny Pacquiao or move up to 140. So that was already in the plans for Tank Davis. Moving up is something that he already anticipated. And we're going to see it. If he does fight Pitbull next, it's going to be at 140. Shakur Hands from champion in recess to Bozo. JJ's in the house. Yes, not like his dad moving up too fast for the money. That's it. I think at this point, Tank Davis simply is going to be moving up because that's it. He's not going to be able to make 130 anymore. You got to understand, Tank doesn't have the frame to keep making 130. That's it. Got to go to 140. Now we're just going to have to see who is Tank Davis going to decide to fight next. I'll tell you who he should fight next. Y'all know who Tank Davis should fight next. Y'all know what's the biggest fight for Tank Davis? What's the favorite fight that we want for Tank Davis? Everybody knows this. Mask, make your own opinions. You watch too much boxing news. Think for yourself. Shakur Hands. JJ the Joker, you ain't replied to my message the last few days. Underrated Will. The letter M. I feel like Tank is going to try to fight winner of Mayweather versus Pac-Man. Circus fights. Honestly, I don't see that happening because, look, Floyd Mayweather is not going to step in the ring with Tank Davis. He's not. And Manny Pacquiao would never step in the ring with Tank Davis. He know how that fight plays out. He's not dumb. These guys are smart. They're not going to get in there in a situation where they could get knocked out brutally, hurt badly. Neither one of them. So honestly, I don't expect Tank to ever have the possibility to step in the ring with Pac-Man or with Floyd. Which, by the way, it looks like Tank was trying to get the fight with Pac-Man. And Manny Pacquiao wasn't having it. They're like, nah. You're not getting this fight, son. The letter M. Not even an exhibition. Nah, man. Not even an exhibition. Because the thing about these exhibitions is that fighters be trying to hurt each other. They really do. You know, and Floyd does these exhibitions with non-boxers. They don't have the skills to hurt him, but they try. If you watch the exhibitions, they really be trying to go at Floyd. They just don't have what it takes to land those shots on him. Mask, Tank not ready yet for too much personal shit. He wanted to retire. His heart not in it right now. But here's the thing about that, Mask. Tank Davis only 30 years old. So when people say he just want to retire, his heart not in it, you know what happened when guys is that young and they talking about retire? As soon as they stay inactive for a little bit of time, 6 months, 8 months, they itching to get back in the ring. You know why? Because boxing, the adrenaline that you get from it is addictive. That's why you see a lot of fighters who even still have money, yet they want to keep fighting. Look at Tyson Fury. He got mad money, but he still want to fight. Like, everybody who wants to fight when they old is not broke. There's people who got mad money. AJ got mad money. AJ got millions. He don't know what to do with it. He still want to fight. So fighting is addictive. So when Tank Davis is inactive for a little bit, now he's seen Ryan Garcia becoming a world champion. He see Devin Haney, a reigning welterweight champion. He see Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez. He's now a reigning champion in the 140 division. Guess what? Those things make him want to come back. Then he start telling himself, oh, I could beat this guy. Oh, I could beat that guy. Damn, I want to get back. So before you know it, he wants to come back. He's thirsty to get back in the ring. And it don't got nothing to do with money. He got money. If Tank right now wanted to retire, he got money to retire. And say, I'm not fighting anymore. Fuck it. But nah, he wants to fight. He's going to want to fight. The Hydro Grind, yo, Shakur versus Schofield at 135. I want that too. Man, listen. Schofield is not going to get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. He not. Maybe down the line at some point they'll feel confident enough to make that fight. But they don't want that fight. They really don't want that smoke with Shakur. We game all night. Salute, family. Bam. I don't see that happening. JJ said I have 40 people in the building. Only 22 likes. Come on, my people. No ghost watching in 2026, man. You already know we headed to #1. We could head to #1 a little bit faster if you just double tap that damn screen. Hit that like button, my people. Stop playing with Jay Smith. My peoples, make your predictions, man. Make your predictions right now. Devin Haney, Rollies Romero. Who do you have winning this fight? Mask, Tank Rich. He don't need to fight. Tank even said everyone loves you when you win. Look at Errol Spence. Tank's words, but boxing mental and Tank not there right now. Shakur Hands. Ever Holyfield ducked another fight with JoJo? He ain't fight cool. He that nonsensical out here. Mask. Haney by clinch. Whoa. Wait a minute. Did you see Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.? There was no clinching, bro. There was just a beatdown. The Hydro Grind. Haney got this. But I would love to see Rollie pull off the upset. That would be huge, man. Imagine Rollie's unifying titles. Whoa. Mask. Haney by hug. JJ's in the house. God bless Jay Smith and the Box Center family. Salute, my brother. Let's get it. Rosa Andre. Good morning, Jay Smith. Dangerous for Debo. Rollie's not a boxer. This could be a dangerous fight for Debo Def. People think it's just going to be an easy win and he's going to wash Rollies. They not forgetting what Rollies did to Ryan Garcia in his last outing or how good he looked. Shakur Hands, Haney by clinch is correct assessment. Mask, Rollie awkward, going to be an ugly fight. Shakur Hands, Haney by clock watching and grabbing. The Hydro Grind, punch and clinch. punch and clinch. Underrated Will. Salute, my brother. Shakur Hansen, I mean that. I'ma say it every day. QWERTY, Conor McGregor will be both. They got to you faster. But you need a 24-hour break. Oh, my God. My people, let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the audio is good, because my internet kind of went up and down. I want to make sure. Rosa Andre, Rollies super dangerous. Conor ain't beating no one. I got Rollies. Is this fight on? This fight look like it's going down. My people, let me know if you guys can hear me good. Okay, the audio is good. Perfect. Rosa Andre, Rollies super dangerous for Debo, due to the fact that he has bombs in both hands, and Rollie could definitely pull it off if he has to the jab throwing both hands as grenades. I agree with you, Rosa. I don't understand why so many people think that Devin is just going to wash him. I don't see it that way. I really don't. Shakur hands, Conor ain't beating no one. Come on, like that. Somebody like that need a 24-hour break, and then you just remember them to block them the next time they come in with some goofy shit like that. We're not with the goofballery this morning, my people. So a beautiful Tuesday morning to be talking real boxing stuff. DJ Hecky, I think Devin can outbox him. However, Rollie can pop, bro. And we saw what Ryan did to him. Drained, but still got hit. And Rollie shut Garcia down, but Garcia didn't have a right hand. But he does now. See what I'm talking about? We saw how Devin Haney struggled versus that left hook of Ryan Garcia. And he couldn't land that shot on Rollies. Of course, the triangle theory doesn't work in boxing. We know that. It's been debunked a million times. But it shows us where Rollies is at offensively. That offensive firepower is not a game. Mass, y'all forget Rollie was whooping Tank's ass for 6 rounds straight before he got knocked out. You know what? He did have a lot of moments against Tank Davis, and he won some rounds. Then he got slept. The big punch. Devin gonna out-hug him. Damn, a lot of people are saying that Devin is gonna clinch, punch, hug, punch. That's not what he did against Brian Norman Jr., though. Why y'all hating on Devin? Why you hating on Devin? Because he wasn't clinching and hugging Brian Norman Jr. He Debo-dev'd him. AB, Crawford versus Haney. Come on, bro. Crawford is retired. He will never fight again. Mass, nah, bro. Rollie always had Ryan's card during sparring. When they was young, he always got the edge against him. He got him as a professional now. Yeah, but he also supposedly, I didn't see it, but supposedly he put hands on Devin in sparring too. That went viral. Ilia Topuria. We talking boxing over here, man. Take a 24-hour break. Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow talking about boxing. We don't got time for the dummy stuff. The Hydra Grind. Don't try to go viral in here with that bullshit. We got to get him out of here quick. We ain't got time for the goofiness. The letter M. I feel like Rollie's going to bring the fight to him and overwhelm him. You see what happens if Rollie get aggressive and start landing big shots. Rollie can hit hard. Is Devin going to be able to handle that type of punishment? How is that going to play out? Is he going to go into his footwork, into his movement, and make Rollie chase him around? Or are we going to see Debo-dev, the one that we saw put the beats on Brian Norman Jr.? Come on now. JJ said has 51 people in the building. Not even 30 likes, fellas. Come on, double tap that screen. There's some ghost watching going on over here. JJ said has get him the fuck out of here. You know how we doing it, my G. Mask. Haney can win the fight with a jab. Rosa Andre, Debo Devin Haney will not clinch in this fight. He has too much to show, for he will come out swinging. But that could be a mistake with Rollies being ambidextrous with both hands. I don't know what type of fight Devin Haney's gonna be looking to make versus Rollies. Is he gonna box him? Is he gonna move? Is he gonna stand there and trade with him? But we see Devin at 147, man. It's Debo Dev out there. Domico Miller. Rollie lost that fight to that old man. He's not about to beat Devin Haney to Barroso. Barroso gave him a heck of a fight, man. Damn, Barroso, one of those guys that it's an old man, but give anybody problems. Real talk. The Hydro Grind. Pitbull said Rollie is the hardest puncher he has faced. And we know Pitbull got chin and can take damage. He felt them punches. He felt it, man. Rollie hit hard as hell. Shakur Hand. Why do you keep spreading that baits on, but on nobody? Rosa Andre. Let's keep it boxing. MMA has nothing to do with these conversations right now. There's always going to be a goofball that's going to bring out some MMA stuff. You know, they need attention. They wish MMA could get the same attention that boxing gets. So they come over here to get it. DJ Hecky. Rollie might try to Garcia him. But I really think you're only as good as your last fight. We shall see. Like I said, Rollie can pop. Look, it's reasonable for Devin Haney to be the favorite to win this fight. That's perfectly reasonable. Let's not get it twisted. But do not sleep on Rollies. It is going to be a competitive fight. It is going to be a good fight. And Devin Haney is going to have to outbox him. Al, Debo got knocked out in the movie. Late stoppage by Rollies. Whoa. Are you trying to tell me that Rollies is Craig? Whoa. Whoa, my peoples. Debo Dev, but Rollies is going to show up as Craig? Whoa. Mask. Debo Dev. Keyshawn got that Craig brick for his ass. Time 18, 188. Box Center with Jay Smith and Chat Family. Top of the morning. Have a productive Tuesday today. Stay consistent and healthy. And don't forget, it's Taco Tuesday today. Salute, family. Bam. You know what? I think I might grab some tacos today. A taco, a gordita, a chalupa, something like that. Something like that. The letter M. It's a new version of both fighters. They both got better. Rollies and Devin, they're both better. They're both bigger. They're both stronger. And now they get to meet up in a unification fight. You can't knock it. Can't knock it, my peoples. Come on now. MW. Size Superman, J. Will everyone. Salute, family. Bam. Shakur hands. It's a clinch fest. Mask. Why the F? Why you wearing booty shorts? Oh, God. I was running some miles. Bro said booty shorts. No booty shorts over here. It's running shorts. God late. MAW. Devin versus Rollies is a goodie. Always enjoy unification on the road to undisputed. Look, man, if Devin wins this fight, he's already going to have 2 out of the 4 titles in the division. Could he be headed for undisputed? We shall find out. Mask, don't back that seat up no more, pimp. Yeah. I'm not backing that shit no more. Time. Clarissa Shields does not respect Rollie. And don't forget, she said the same thing about Sean Porter. She's a confident fighter, but if Rollie will hit her one time, she's not getting up. So, look, we're never going to see Clarissa Shields and Rollie share the ring. And Rollie said that too. Rollie said, I'm never going to get in the ring with a woman. I'm never going to hit a woman. We're never going to see it. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. Does she have the skills to beat a guy? Does she have? It's not going to happen, so we don't know. We just don't know. I'll say that. Jay is not Jay Smith. You have to have a goofball channel so you can get more likes. The Wolf Baller, man. You enjoy the bullshit. Man, Charlo still need to happen. Man, listen. They wanted that fight since they was having the little personal altercations and shit and going back and forth on social media. Like, they need to fight each other. When two fighters don't like each other, ahead of even having a fight or having fight discussions, they already don't like each other, and then the fight is made, those fights always turn out to be explosive. Always turn out to be real good action. I believe Devin Haney learned a lot from that Ryan Garcia fight. And if people only think Ryan Garcia only has a left hook, be careful, because that right hand was on point. That right hand was vicious. They was ready. Mario Barrios, man, he was waiting for that left hook and kept getting popped with that right hand. Right down the pipe, too. MAW, Rollies has that dangerous power to be competitive, but Dev has the skill to box his way to victory. Good, interesting style matchup, in my humble opinion. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. It's going to be a competitive fight. They're both going to win rounds. They're both going to have their moments. It's going to be the ebb and flow. Shakur hands. My man Jay getting back in competition this year. I want to run my 10th marathon. God willing, I'm going to run my 10th marathon. So right now, I'm cutting weight. I'm going to get to about 135. By the time I get to the marathon, I'll probably be like at 132 around there. Working on it, my G. I might even go live for the marathon so you guys can see me when I start. I can't bring the phone with me because I can't run, 26 miles with the phone in my hand. But I'm going to have a live going on that morning so you guys can see me take off in the race and so you could see me get into the finish line and shit. Shakur hands, the skills to run his way to victory. The Dragon, salute family, bam. What's the deal? Listen, man, for those of you who made your predictions, I don't know if you predicted that it's going to be an easy fight or if you're expecting an easy fight for Devin. I already told you it's not going to be. Not going to be, fellas. It's going to be a good one. The letter M. Haney should be winning this. He's got more skill. But I have a feeling Rollie is going the Garcia route and crack his jaw. Ooh. See, that's the thing. How is Haney going to react if he get hit with some big shots by Rollies? Is he going to be able to take them? We're going to find out. If Rollie catches Devin, he will get on his bicycle because Rollie has the power. Trust me, even Tank said the brother hits hard. Pause. Mask. Do calisthenics. 132. That's too skinny, bro. Not when you run long distance. There be people my same. I'm only 5'5", bro. There be people that be my size that be weighing 125, 126. If you trying to run 26 miles, bro, you got to drop that weight. The big punch. Devin game plan. Bicycle, jab, hug. That wasn't the game plan versus Brian Norman Jr. TTG Sean. Rollie takes it. Whoa. Does he take it by unanimous decision, split decision, or by stoppage? Will it be a stoppage? MAW, Clarissa just talking trash about fighting men for publicity. Fighters need that confidence, but humbleness is respected the most. Boxing don't play. Ladies need to stick to fighting ladies, in my humble opinion. And look, we're never going to see fights sanctioned between men and women. That's not going to happen. We'll never see that. I think it's an interesting talking point. It get the conversation going. The first time I remember when she said, I'll put the beats on Keith Thurman, social media was all over it. All over it. And she's talked about Rollies and how she'll beat him up. Social media's all over it. So they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. There you have it. I I know Clarissa Shields understand that they would never sanction a fight like that to happen. I know that she understands that there, there no such thing as a professional fight between a man and a woman. But she spars with men all the time. In fact, I think at this point, all of her sparring partners are men. So because of that, she feel confident that she could put it on the dude. You can't knock her for that. And then she's the greatest female fighter of all time. Like, you got to expect her to have that type of confidence. Shaggy, Rollie has the puncher shot, but Haney can box and now punch. Let's see if he sits on his punches and put some combos together. That's the thing, man. Rollies, he got the power, and now we're seeing the ring IQ, the boxing skills, with him training with Coach Ismael Salas. Cuban coach, got him on point. But when you look at Debo Dev, it's like he got all the tools in the bag that we already seen before, but now you can add power to it. That's what make him Debo Dev. And, he's supposed to be the favorite. There's a reason why. He's supposed to be that guy. JJ's in the house. What do you tell a woman with 2 black eyes? Nothing. You already told her twice. God damn. Shakur hands. Y'all saw what happened in the Olympics and how the person was allowed to fight in the competition and was beating them up. Which, by the way, I forgot the trans boxer. I forgot the name. But he won't be able to compete, or she won't be able to compete in the Olympics because the next Olympics is in the U.S. And they already said in the U.S. that they're not going to allow trans athletes to compete unless you do trans versus trans. Shakur hands. Y'all saw what happened in the Olympics. Yeah, exactly. The Dragon. I'm not a fan of Haney, but accomplishments. But hope y'all picking Haney because of Haney hate. Haney by unanimous decision. Look, I'm expecting Devin Haney to be the favorite. I haven't looked at the odds or anything like that. I expect him to be the favorite to win this fight. So most people will see him as the guy who's going to win it. For now, I'm just saying, Rollies, he's not going to get cooked. He's not going to, it's not going to be a situation where Devin is just going to make him look easy. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an interesting, competitive fight. Al, is she better than Leila Ali? I say yes. Clarissa Shields is better than Leila Ali. I mean, Leila is too old right now. If they would have fought, Clarissa was going to wash her. Wash her. That's why Leila, she backed out. And I think that's part of why she don't like Clarissa even more because of that. Because she tried to say, I'll fight her for $10 million, I'll fight her. Well, Clarissa got the check. Like, yo, here's the check right here. What's up? Let's fight. And when the check showed up, Leila was like, well, I really got to think about it. I don't decide on my terms. I don't decide on your terms. I decide on mine. And you know what? I'm not going to give you the opportunity. So it's like, well, you was just saying, you said on the show that you was willing to fight her for this much money. When this much money showed up, now you spitting game about you don't want to fight. So I think Leila Ali knew, damn, I fight this girl, I'm going to get smoked. I'm going to get beat up. The $10 million ain't worth the ass whooping that she going to give me. And she didn't do it. And I'm going to be honest, man, Leila Ali been hating on Clarissa Shields. She been a Clarissa Shields hater for the longest. Like, I seen it. I could tell. And now you can see the situation between them two. They should have been two people who had a good relationship. Leila Ali don't even box no more. But she don't like the type of attention Clarissa Shields get. The big punch. Rollie KO'd the dude that KO'd Clarissa in sparring. Well, he didn't knock her out, but he did land a nasty left hook. I actually seen it. I seen the video. You may have seen it too. They actually both threw a right hand and a left hook. They both did it at the same time. Bam, bam. But homeboy's left hook went out first. Bang. So Clarissa was in the motion of throwing her left hook when she got clipped. That's part of why she got hit so hard. She wasn't waiting for it. That's why she got dropped. The Dragon, yeah, Clarissa would have won. Prime to prime, Leila wins. Honestly, I think prime to prime, Clarissa still beats her. You know why? Because if you look at the level of talent that was around when Leila Ali fought, man, listen, she was fighting mostly, and Clarissa sees some of that too, but Leila Ali was fighting part-time boxers, girls that doing their little restaurant job and then show up to box Leila Ali. Like, there wasn't, that elite level talent wasn't deep like that back then, back when Leila was fighting. It really wasn't. And even right now, honestly, even right now, in some of the weight, you see Clarissa Shields having to jump up and down in weight classes and move around, because if she just stay in the same division, there's not going to be enough people there for her to just keep getting fights that are going to be at a certain level. So she has to move around. But if you look at Leila's resume, there ain't nothing in Leila Ali's resume that's really going to stand out. Tell me, the Dragon, what's in Leila Ali's resume that you could be like, oh, wait a minute, look, she got this world champion and she beat her. Not really. But when I see the skills too, when I see the skills, who's Clarissa's best win? I mean, I don't know. She's fought some real good ones, but her best win, it could be DAZN. It could be Franchon DAZN. Maybe it's her. I don't know. But again, the Dragon, all I'm saying is, when I look back at Leila's opponents, a lot of them wasn't on that level. A lot of that wasn't on that level. It was like, when you're the champion and you get these B-level fighters, because that's what's available for you. So, Leila had a great career. She retired undefeated. But when I look at them skills for skills, I feel like Clarissa Shields is better than her. Clarissa Shields is a better counter puncher, faster with the hands, a more aggressive fighter. I don't know. I feel like if they would have been prime for prime, Clarissa Shields would have got her. Would have beat her convincingly, in convincing fashion. But it would have been a good fight. Would have been a good fight to watch. We're not going to get it. It could have happened. It could have happened. Leila got caught bluffing. Ow. I want to like Clarissa, but she just come off too manly for me. Good fighter, though. I mean, but what do you mean by too manly? Like, she's a world champion. And she's cocky about it. I would say Clarissa is kind of like a male version of Floyd Mayweather. If you think about it. Think about Floyd when he became money made, and the way that he moved and the way that he would just say it, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the best ever, all of this stuff. And Clarissa Shields is kind of like a male version of Floyd Mayweather. The letter M. What do you think of Clarissa Shields versus 50 Cent beef? I mean, she shouldn't have been involved in that beef, because 50 Cent beef is supposed to be with Papoose, right? But 50 Cent threw a little jab at her, and now she started going back at 50 Cent. So now, it's an all-out internet war going on between 50 Cent and Clarissa Shields and Pap. Honestly, it's publicity for both sides, right? The whole thing about the Maserati Bud guy that's saying that he was with Clarissa, he looked like a super fan to me. I think it could turn out to be that. The guy was a super fan who was always posting videos about the champion, and he knew somebody that knew her and was like, yo, let me show up, recording everything, like a fan taking pictures of everything. And now he's saying, yeah, I was with her. But nothing that he's really posted tell me that he was with her. That he posted is like some old super fan type shit. Therefore, Clarissa need to put her away. I mean, I think one of the toughest things for Clarissa Shields is just to ignore shit. Ignore the haters, ignore the people that's talking all that shit, and just go on about your business. You know, she likes to respond. She doesn't like to just stay quiet. The Dragon. Ego is so big, she want to fight a dude so bad. I say, let it sanction. They did with a female Muay Thai fighter. Nah, it's not going to happen, bro. They never going to sanction a fight between Clarissa Shields and a man. It could be an exhibition, and in an exhibition fight, they could decide, you know what, we're going to hit each other hard. Let's go at it. But they never going to sanction it, bro. JJ said, I'm boxing for breakfast. Portuguese breakfast. Ooh. Linguica and eggs. Coffee, toast. Priceless. Salute, my brother. Enjoy it. MAW. Lucia Riker was a very dominant lady boxer and kickboxer that demolished all her opponents. So they decided to put her in there versus a man. Guess what happened? Man stopped her. Not worth the risk. Yeah, man, you don't have to. There's no need to put, you know, a female with a man in the ring. There's just no need for that. You know, a good conversation can be had. Or they could do like a sparring in a controlled environment with headgear, 2 minute rounds, 3 rounds of sparring. You know, they could do something to show some competition, but you can't sanction a professional fight. You don't want to see a woman getting killed out there. The letter M. That's her problem. She responds to every troll and makes herself look foolish for entertaining the clowns. And you know what? I actually, because I spoken with Clarissa Shields privately. And I spoke to her about that, or I at least voiced that opinion to her that she shouldn't even be responding to a lot of people. Just, yo, you're going to have a lot of haters. And the more famous you get, the bigger your name gets, the more haters you're going to have. That's just the reality, you know. But she doesn't like to leave it at that. If you're going to troll her, she's going to respond. Yeah, man, you don't remember the girl that was trolling her that she ended up inviting her to the gym, beat the shit out of her? Beat the shit out of homegirl. Why? Because homegirl thought she was going to be trolling. She was like, let's meet in the gym. Put the beats on her. The Dragon, okay, I accept hard sparring. No holding. Let's get it. You see, maybe they could. But you have to understand, we just don't get to see the sparring footage. But she regularly spars with men. And when you sparring, I guarantee you when she's getting ready to fight, you know, a championship fight, she's not telling dudes, take it easy on me. Like, she's sparring and they, you know, you can't get ready for a real fight with somebody just light tapping you. Nah, you get ready for a real fight, fighting for real. So, if we wanted to see, you know, hard sparring for her, all we got to see is her sparring videos for her from her training camps. And I guarantee you she's sparring hard with the dudes. Max 7 Life. Y'all remember when Shakur said Tank is bad for boxing? Now he doing everything Tank did. But what do you mean he doing everything Tank did? You got me confused, bro. Because he fought Teofimo Lopez in his very last fight. He doing everything Tank never did. With that one. So what do you mean he's doing what Tank did? Devin Ford. The guys take it easy on her. Nah, bro, I think that there could be moments where they take it easy. But, bro, you don't get prepared to fight for a title, to defend titles by just taking it easy. Trust me. I guarantee you, and I haven't been there, I haven't seen any footage, but I guarantee you that during sparring, not just Clarissa, everybody during sparring has a moment where they're going hard. When we going hard, well, I'm going to hit you hard, you're going to hit me hard, and we're going at it like it's a real fight. You can't prepare for a real fight just playing around. And obviously, she shows up to her fights very well prepared. And when she has to take a punch, she takes a punch, assimilates it nicely. You don't do that by just showing up to the fight and getting hit for the first time. You got hit in training camp. The letter M. Does she have any real competition? Any female boxer that could be a threat right now? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know that there's anybody out there that could beat her. You know, we spoke about the possibility of her and Alicia Baumgardner mixing it up, but Baumgardner would have to move up and wait for that fight to happen. Caroline Dubois is bad nice, but she ain't trying to move up like that. She wants to fight Alicia Baumgardner. She says she'll knock her out. Devin Ford, they're not going 100. Max 7 Life, he said belts don't matter. He said he wants a rehydration. Nah, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I'm not confused, Max 7 Life, but you definitely confused. And I'm going to tell you why you confused. Tank Davis getting rehydration clause for the same people that's fighting his own weight class. He fought Ryan Garcia. How you getting a rehydration clause for a guy that fight in your same division? Shakur Stevenson not asking. He didn't ask Teofimo Lopez for a rehydration clause. He not asking 135-pounders for a rehydration clause. He's saying if I'm going to move up, then I'm ask the guys up there in those weight classes to get a rehydration clause. So right there, Mac 7 Life, you was confused. I helped you understand it. You see, I wasn't confused. You confused. So I'm helping you understand it. Shakur ain't never asked for no rehydration clause to the people in his weight class. Tank did. Tank had Ryan Garcia on a rehydration clause while they was on the same weight class. What are you doing? What are you doing? So, no, he's not doing. You see, right there you say he's doing the same. You was confused. He's not doing the same. He didn't ask nobody from his weight class for a rehydration clause. You're confused. And then the thing with the belt. Look what happened. The WBC got him. But what is he going to do? He said that he'll go back to the 135 division and get that Ring Magazine belt. That ring belt. Tank, how many ring belt Tank has had in his whole career? Oh, shit, he ain't never got one. Tank ain't never had a ring belt. So you see, Max 7 Life, you confused. Shakur not doing nothing like Tank Davis done. He not asking for rehydration clause to anybody in his weight class, and he will be fighting for a belt, just not the WBC trinket. While Tank fighting for secondary belts. Shakur ain't fighting for secondary belts. So again, he not doing the same thing as Tank is doing. What are you talking about, bro? Shaggy, Jay Smith cooking up. Like I be looking away from the frying pans. I don't even got to look in it. Max 7 Life, is Ryan bigger than Tank? Yes or no? Oh my God, the dreaded yes or no questions. Jay isn't there as Jay Smith, helping the community. Once again, I do my best, bro. I do my best. I just spit the facts. The Dragon, I heard Sebastian Fundora trying to do that to Xander Sayers. Rehydration clause. So here's the deal. Xander Sayers fights at 154. Sebastian Fundora fights at 154. And he's the champion. He was a champion in that division before Xander Sayers. So that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But honestly, I don't know if those are just rumors more than anything else. Because obviously Xander Sayers right now is focused on Keith Thurman. That's going to be his next opponent. So he gotta take that win first. Fight Keith Thurman, get past him. Because a lot of people's disrespecting one-time Keith Thurman on social media. They talking about he going to get washed. He going to get cooked. Like Keith is a bum. Nah, that's going to be a good fight. If Fundora gets past Keith Thurman, I like a fight between him and Xander Sayers. The stuff about a rehydration clause, I haven't heard anything about it. I gotta see. I gotta see. Max 7 Life. Y'all hold Tank to a higher standard. Why? To a higher standard? What higher standard you mean? You mean the standard of grabbing the same type of titles that younger fighters that you have already grabbed? You mean the standard of... No. So look, Max 7 Life, let's be real. You hold Tank to a lower standard. You don't have no standard for Tank. You only have standards for other fighters. You want everybody to fight the best. But when it comes to Tank Davis, you don't want Tank Davis to fight the best. You don't want Tank Davis to fight Shakur. You don't want Tank Davis to move up and challenge the bigger names. You don't say Tank Davis go fight Gary Antoine Russell. Nah. You want him to keep fighting guys from Mexico and Guadalajara and Guatemala. You want him to keep fighting guys from south of the border. I get that. I get that you don't mind Tank Davis never fighting a reigning world champion. I get that. But we just holding him to the same standard that we holding everybody else. Shakur Stevenson beat a reigning champion at 140. His first fight at 140 beat a reigning world champion in Teofimo Lopez. Devin Haney, his first fight at welterweight, beat a reigning world champion in Brian Norman Jr. Who is Tank gonna fight? We don't know. You don't care who Tank fight. You just want to see him knock anybody out. The letter M. Nobody holds Tank to a high standard here. He said holding Tank to a high standard. What high standard? What? There is no standard. The OG, the standard of winning. Max 7 Life. Tank is the best. How can he fight himself? Oh, nah. You see, now you're on some Tankomaniac shit. Take 24 hours, man. Take 24 hours. Come back tomorrow. Shakur hands cooked Teo. Cooked him. And that's the thing. If you look at Teofimo Lopez's resume, if you look at Teofimo Lopez's accomplishments, there is nothing in Tank Davis' resume that even come close to that win. That one win is better than everything in Tank's whole resume. The Dragon, I got Inoue winning that one. Nakatani leave himself open when he throws punches. The Dragon, a Tank fangirl. That's a Tankomaniac. So, look, man. Nakatani had a bad performance in his last outing. It was a tough fight. He had a real good opponent. But I got to tell you, man, Nakatani is a lot better than what we saw in his last fight. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting how this fight plays out. Him and the Monster. Because they both got real quick hands. They are both hard punchers. And if you look at their mechanics, they have similar mechanics. Like if you look at Junto Nakatani and Naoya Inoue, the way that they fight, it looks like they train in the same gym and under the same trainers. Check them out and you'll see. Shakur hands. Mr. Sniffles, 24, 24, 24. Wake up and smell the salt. You're sleeping. Shakur hands. He's supposed to be a lot better. But we will see. The Dragon. I'm looking at more Nakatani fights. I'm looking at his last 3 fights. Yes. Yes. Not the last one, because we know the last one is the one he struggled at with a tough opponent. But look at the fights before that. And you'll see he has a very similar style to the Monster. And the hand speed, the body punching, like he has a lot in the bag of tools. I think even the footwork, he has real good footwork too. Jason, that's Jay Smith, get him the fuck out of here. I am Rollie. What about Shakur versus Andy Cruz? Andy at his best. So, I like that fight a lot. A lot. But, will we see it? Is tough. You know why? Because Andy Cruz just took the first loss of his career, obviously. He's going to be sticking around at the 135 division for some time. And I'm telling you right now, Andy Cruz will become a world champion. He'll become a world champion. He'll unify titles. He'll win in more than one division. He's going to accomplish a lot. Don't get it twisted. I'm not an old a social media fan where I'm like, oh, Andy Cruz got exposed. He's washed. He's not the same. And all that goofballery stuff. Nah, Andy Cruz is going to accomplish. Only thing is, because Shakur already fought at 140, and he's talking about going to 135 to challenge, you know, for the Ring magazine belt, I think that he'll be moving up. And he says, I own 130 and 130 and 135 and 140 right now. So I think Shakur is going to be looking to move up to the 140 division. And we're not going to see him with Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz is going to stick around at 135, win titles and unify. And maybe we see him moving up to 140 within the next couple of years. But I think he's going to stick around. Andy Cruz versus Keyshawn Davis, man. That's a fight that I think we're going to see it at some point. We have to see it. We have to see Andy Cruz versus Keyshawn Davis. We already know in the amateurs, he shut down Keyshawn Davis. But the pros is a whole different ballgame. I am Rollie. That'll be crazy. Side. Andy got a 130 frame. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Andy Cruz, I expect him to stick around at 135 for a long time because of that. He doesn't have a big frame. The Dragon. Who's my guy Raymond Murataya finna fight? We need more unifications. They've been slowing down. I'm not sure who Murataya is going to fight next, but I think it's possible that it could be him and Shakur Stevenson. I think it's a possibility. He doesn't have an opponent lined up. Shakur doesn't have an opponent lined up. Why not? Why not? They could make that fight happen. And it's like I told you before, at one point, that fight, that's something that was offered to Murataya's team, and they wasn't having it. They wasn't having it. But this rematch right here, my peoples, if Devin is able to get past Rollies, this rematch right here is going to be something else. Super anticipated rematch, y'all. I am Rollie. So if Inoue beats Rafael Espinoza, will he be number one pound for pound? Rafael is 6'1", 28-0. So I think that Naoya Inoue might overtake Usyk. Because, look, Usyk is fighting a kickboxer next. That's not going to help his case to stay at number one. So Naoya Inoue's next win, beating Nakatani, is going to be a bigger win than Usyk beating the kickboxer. However, it doesn't mean that one win is going to put him at number one. If he destroys Nakatani, knocks him out, he might go to number one. But if he doesn't, afterwards, Usyk can still fall to number two, depending on what he does next. He's looking like he's not going to fight his mandatory. Caballero wants to fight Usyk badly. Badly, my peoples. But the problem is that Usyk is not thrilled about fighting Caballero. He actually petitioned the WBC for a voluntary defense, which is this cherry pick that he's getting right now. And he says that he wants to do 3 more fights before calling it a day. He didn't mention Caballero in those fights. He mentioned a trilogy with Fury. And I can't remember what was the other 2 fights. But he didn't mention Caballero. So it looks like Caballero is not going to get that shot. Trent Thomas, I'm interested in seeing who's actually the better boxer. MAW, I'm still expecting a very competitive fight between Naoya versus Junto. One bad night out for Junto doesn't have me taking him lightly. Junto could still upset if he lands right. Let's find out. And look, I got mad respect for Junto Nakatani, for his skills, his talent. And I think that they're very evenly matched. I mentioned it before. Nakatani has a very similar style to Inoue. If you see their mechanics, the way they throw their punches, the way they counter punch, the way they go to the body, their movement. They have a very similar style. I am Rollie. He mentioned Fabio Rollie versus Dubois winner as well. Yes, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I think Rolly's going to beat Dubois. I'm telling you right now. Rollie is another one of those fighters who people think he just got power. Rollie don't got just power, bro. Forget that. He can fight. CEO Tune, David Benavidez finna be #1 before the year's out. Nah, that's not gonna happen, bro. That's not gonna happen. He'll be able to go to a better spot, but he's not going to #1. You could forget about that. You have to look at the accomplishments of Inoue, the accomplishments of Usyk. And accomplishments don't get you on the #1 spot, keep you there forever. You got to keep winning, right? You got to keep winning big fights. But Benavidez beating Zurdo, and then let's say he fight Bivol or Beterbiev and winning that fight, those two wins are not going to get him the #1 spot. He's definitely going to drop down and get closer. He could get into the top 5 with those wins. He's not going to be #1. I could pretty much guarantee you that, bro. Shakur Stevenson, Uncle Usyk, and GPA Floyd and Pac. I am Rollie. I honestly don't think Usyk loses to Caballero. I just don't think he wants to have a big training camp anymore. He had to train for a year to fight Fury before. No, look, man. Honestly, I feel like Caballero has a shot. Caballero has an opportunity to win that fight. The way his style of boxing, his aggressiveness, he's a big, strong guy that goes forward, let the hands fly, and he's skilled, technically sound. I think he got what it takes to pull off the upset. Side, Rollie versus Triple D, a great fight. Rollie has a bigger heart for sure. It's a KO either way. The letter M, Rico, Rollie, Fury. That could be his last 3 fights. Caballero is out the loop. Out the loop. MAW. Benavidez hasn't won a ring belt yet, though. Damn, are you sure of that? I thought he had one. I thought he had a ring belt at once. I thought he had a ring belt at 168. MAW. Usyk versus Caballero is still my first preference for Usyk. I mean, that's the fight I wanted to see, and I thought that fight was going to happen because Caballero is the mandatory. But they sidetracked him. I am Rollie. A guy that has the best shot to beat Usyk is Jai Opataya. Caballero probably second. Wait a minute. Jai Opataya #4 in the heavyweight division, bro. I don't know about that. See, here's the thing about Jai. Jai is a fighter that, #1, I enjoy watching a lot. I enjoy watching his fights. #2, I like his style of boxing. But #3, if you look at his list of opponents, Jai Opataya has been able to come up in a division where there's not a lot of monsters. Right now, there's not a lot of monsters over there. Good fighters, yeah. But like superstar fighters, it's not. So he hasn't faced anyone even close to the level of Alexander Usyk. And that's why I'm telling people, Benavidez is going to do him in. Thank you, Scars. Salute, family. Bam. Benavidez is going to do Jai Opataya in. Remember that I told you that. Why? Because Benavidez has been in there with a lot better fighters than Jai Opataya. Ow. Shushu keeps calling out Inoue. Is he ready for him? I mean, I think that's a real good fight. Styles make fights. Is Inoue going to move up to fight Shushu? Because that's the thing. Inoue would have to move up. So Inoue is kind of like in the middle right now because Shushu's up there wanting to fight him, but then Bam Rodriguez is down here and he wants to fight him too. And the monster said it before. I want to fight Bam, but I'm not going to wait for him forever. So what's going to end up happening? Is Bam going to end up moving up and fighting the monster, or is the monster going to move up and fight Shushu? Both of those scenarios are within the realm of possibility. Trent Thomas, he had belt. He lost it for smoking MJ. And you know what's funny? I could never understand why in boxing will you take a title from a fighter because they tested positive for weed. Weed is not a performance enhancer. If anything, weed can decline your performance, your athletic abilities. If you smoking weed and beating people up, if anything, we should give you an extra trophy, an extra weed trophy. I am Rollie. Jai Opataya wanted to fight Benavidez, and Benavidez said he's not ready yet. Jai wanted to fight Sordo. Sordo's fighting Benavidez instead. Now, Jai's going to, look, he's going to get his opportunity. He's going to get his opportunity. Benavidez already said, look, I'm going to fight Sordo, then I'm going to go down, beat Bivol, beat Beterbiev, and then I'm going to go after Jai Opataya. I'm going to tell you why that's a smart move for him to make. Think about this. Right now, if you're not like a real boxing fan, you don't know Jai Opataya. You can't pull him out of a lineup and say who that is. So for Benavidez, it's more convenient to fight these big fights because they're all big fights, right? With Zurdo, that's a big fight, Cinco de Mayo weekend. But then Beterbiev and Bivol, those are big fights too, both of them. Fight those three big fights and allow Jai Opataya to keep growing his name, to keep growing his brand. And by the time they say, okay, let's meet up, it's going to be a much bigger fight than if Benavidez was to be fighting a relatively unknown champion next after Zurdo. So I think it's a good move. MAW, I'm still going to back Jai Opataya over Benavidez if it happens. Versus Zurdo will give us an anticipation on how Benavidez look at cruiserweight. We'll see. No, look, I can pretty much promise you, Jai Opataya versus David Benavidez is going to happen. That fight is going to go down. When is it going to happen? It could be a couple years down the line. It could be a couple years down the line. It could be maybe later next year. CEO Toon, a lot of fighters said the same thing about Osterman. It's a disadvantage. I mean, any performance enhancement, because Osterman, there's certain aspects of it that supposedly help you. But weed is definitely not going to help you. Look, David Benavidez popped dirty for coke and got stripped. Coke is not going to help you. It can help you lose. It ain't going to help you win. And anything that you smoke is definitely not going to help you win. The letter M. I just hope they don't wait too long. Nah, honestly, I think that Benavidez versus Opataya is a fight that we're going to get. Because Benavidez is about that smoke. He is about that life. It's not like he's trying to avoid Jai Opataya. He's saying, look, I'm going to fight Zurdo, handle him, go down, handle these two big dogs who I've been wanting to fight, and then we're going to link up with Opataya. We're going to make that fight happen. So I'm expecting to see it. And by the way, because we're talking about expecting to see Benavidez versus Opataya, I'm expecting to see this rematch. Fellas, I believe that before the end of the year, we're going to see Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney's going to fight Rollies, of course. Devin got to beat Rollies. I don't know if Ryan is going to fight somebody next before facing Devin. But I see them two fighting at the end of the year. Mid to late this year. And it's going to be a very, very anticipated rematch. People are going to be talking about it. People want to see how does it play out. People are going to be predicting it. I am Rollie. What about Inoue versus Andy Cruz? Would that fight ever happen? Nah, I don't think so. That one will never happen. And I'll tell you why it'll never happen. Andy Cruz is fighting at 135. Naoya Inoue won't be at 126. He's not even at 126. And if he move up to 126, it could be later this year or next year. Andy Cruz at 135. By the time Naoya Inoue may be considered going to 135, Andy Cruz will already be at 140. For sure. So we're never going to see the Monster and Andy Cruz in the same weight class. It just won't happen. You got to remember, and I said this before, Naoya Inoue is like a better version of Manny Pacquiao. I see him as a better Manny Pacquiao. That's how good he is. And it's crazy because I said that and there was people laughing at me, joking around. And after I said that, you know who else said it? Bob Arum. And I know that, Inoue is his fighter. You got to talk positively about his stars. But you have to look at what they do inside the ring and how they fight. Now, yeah, Inoue got the hand speed like Manny Pacquiao, got the footwork like Manny Pacquiao. Only thing is, he's more calm. He's more calculative in the ring than Manny Pacquiao. He's sharper. His punches are sharper than Manny's. And you can see that. So the only disadvantage that Inoue got when you compare him to Manny Pacquiao is his size. He's small. Imagine Manny Pacquiao was already small at 5'5". Now, yeah, it's like 5'3". And I heard that it's 5'3". That shit is cap. I heard that he's 5'2". And he do be looking. When you see him facing off with his opponents, he always look mad short in front of him. He like 5'2". So what that means is that how many divisions can he really go up? He's not going to be able to go up as much as Manny Pacquiao because he's smaller. He got a smaller frame. So the Monster, the highest division he goes to might be 130, 135. We might never see him fight above 135. If he even goes there. Because there's a lot of factors that you have to consider. Right now, Inoue is like 31 or 32 years old. So at 31, 32 years old, how many divisions is he really going to go up? Right? And he just got to the division that he's at right now. So next up, his following move is going to be to 126. He could do that by the time he's like 34 years old, 35. Then from 126, it would have to be 130. At what age is he going to do that? So, honestly, I think that the Monster goes to 135 like at the end of his career, like a big fight. You see how Crawford moved up to fight Canelo and call it a day? I think that's how we're going to end up getting the Monster moving up like to his higher weight class. He moves to 126, stick around, then does his final stretch at 130, and then maybe like for a final fight, there's a big name at 135, and they agreed that he'll move up to fight maybe a catch weight. But he's limited as far as how many divisions he can go up because he's a small dude. MAW, he's not a double A, sorry. He's a triple A. Now, yeah, with a triple A battery, he's a small dude. He's a small dude, but he's going to continue to accomplish. That's for sure. But this fight right here, fellas, this fight right here is going to be more interesting than people believe. Devin Haney, is the best version of himself. Debo Dev. But don't get it twisted, man. Rollies is also the best version of himself. This is going to be a real good fight. Now, Tyson Fury, we know he got an opponent that he's going to be fighting. But there's a possibility that we get this at the end of the year. We talked about it earlier. Yes, fans are not exactly calling for this fight like we were 6-7 years ago. But this is still a great fight. This is a fight that has to happen. There's been animosity between them on social media. They've gone back and forth. You know, there was a time when we thought the fight was going to happen, and it just, for whatever reason, it couldn't be made. I'm looking forward to this one. I hope they can make it happen. We're all going to tune in, my peoples. We're all tuning in. I am Rollie. Joshua might win. Usyk is training with Joshua. Look, man, I think that this fight is one of those 50-50 where you don't know what you're going to get because they both have what it takes to hurt the other guy. They both have what it takes to stop the other guy. And I don't know, man, if somebody... I've seen Fury running out of gas late in his fights. I've seen AJ running out of gas. So if somebody run out of gas and the other one still got something left in the tank, there's going to be problems. This thing could end up in a devastating knockout. But we got to see. We got to see how it plays out. And, of course, my peoples, I'm looking forward to seeing what is next for Shakur Stevenson. I want to see it. Who is Shakur going to fight next? What division is he going to fight next? Is he going to fight his next fight at 140? Defend that strap that he just got from Tio? Or is he going to move down to 135 and try to take it from Opataya? CEO Tune, I can't give that man no credit for Rollie. Rollie is on Tank. Trash resume. He trash for Tank. He trash for Haney. I mean, Rollie's a world champion right now. You have to look at the difference. When Rollies fought Tank Davis, he never won a title. That was his first title shot. The Rollies that's fighting Haney, he's a world champion now. A reigning world champion. So it's not the same guy. Tank fought a guy who never even fought for a title. Devin Haney's fighting a reigning world champion. Trent Thomas, Joshua versus Fury is 50-50. It depends on which version comes in the ring. I agree with you, bro. I see that as a 50-50 fight. Joshua versus Fury, you know, they're both elite level guys. They're both, you know, at the tail end of their best days, or their best days may already be behind them. Let's see. Al, is Anthony Joshua too muscular? I heard that's not good for boxing. Too much muscle get you tired fast. So you'll notice that most great fighters are not too muscular. Most great. Look at Muhammad Ali, not too muscular. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Look at Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford gained muscle, you know, to move up to 168. But he wasn't like a jacked up type of fighter. So most fighters who are great fighters are never muscular like that. In most cases, they don't even be looking strong like that compared to their opponents. I am Brody. Is he good or great? Who are we talking about, bro? Who's good or great? MAW, Rollie now is a 2-division champion. Come on now. You know, you can fight somebody and then 2-3 years down the line, they way better than the guy that you fought. Some guy, Anthony Joshua, already washed up. Okay, but you can say the same thing about Fury. You can say that Fury's washed up. So if they both washed up and they both, you know, former world champions, former elite level guys, you can expect a good showdown. Shackle hands, Grandpa Mayweather. I am Brody. What about Dalton Smith? Is he good or great? I mean, he hasn't proven to be great, but right now he's really, really good. And he could be headed for greatness. He's really, really good. Tom Seaver. Some guy. Frank Bruno was buff. Evander was muscles. Lara Dose was swole. Tom Seaver. Joshua needs to get his mental health together first before he fights. He's had it. That from afar is easy to move on from. But living it like a mortgage. So I'm going to say this, Tom. It looks to me like Anthony Joshua, obviously after the accident, took some time to heal physically. You saw that he didn't get on social media right away. It took some time for him to actually address the fans and say, you know, what he's going through. So I think part of the healing for him is going to be getting back in the ring. Because remember, those was his guys, his training partners. Those are guys that helped him prepare for his fights. And I'm pretty sure that he knows that these guys would want him to keep fighting. Like, if he ever thought about retiring, if he ever thought about quitting over this tragedy, I know that part of the reason why he said I can't quit is because my guys would not want me to quit. So I think part of the healing is actually going to be fighting. It's actually going to be, you know, getting back into a rhythm, getting back into your normal life routine. Ramirez, Usyk said Tyson is his last fight. Well, but that's what I said earlier. It looks like Caballero is out of the mix. That's it. He's cooked. The Hydro Grind, Dalton Smith won that title and will lose it in his first defense. I don't know, man. Dalton Smith is that good. He's really... I predicted that he was going to beat Subriel Matias. He's really that good, bro. Shakur Hands, yeah. He had a rough year losing his peers. MAW, AJ versus Tyson Fury. It's a quality heavyweight fight. We'll still enjoy it. I agree with you 100%. Listen, AJ versus Fury is a heck of a fight. And it's a big, big fight. They're going to sell out whatever venue, most likely in the UK, is going to sell out. And the TV audience is going to be there too. People are going to tune in. And you can imagine the press conferences. You could imagine Tyson Fury going at it with AJ in the pressers. Side, I hope Usyk has to defend or vacate. Caballero deserves his shot at the belt. So what I think is going to happen is that Usyk is going to end up vacating. Because he just don't want to fight Caballero. He don't want that fight. Double AD, have a great day, my guy. Keep spitting that knowledge. Salute, my brother. Bam. Troll Bruce in the building. Salute, family. Bam. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith. You've been on for over 2 hours. Man, my peoples, over 2 hours. Man, listen, we headed to 2.5 hours. And we not even at 50 likes. Come on, my people. Hit that like button, man. Let's get me to 50 likes before today's show is over, fellas. Trent Thomas, Usyk is really a light heavyweight. Listen, bro. Trent Thomas. This is the reason why Usyk is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He a small dude. At the heavyweight division, everybody Usyk is for is bigger than him. Ow, salute, my brother. Usyk is a small dude. Relatively speaking, right? He became undisputed at cruiserweight, moved up to heavyweight, became undisputed over there. And you see the size of the opponents that he's beating. I actually thought that Tyson Fury was going to beat him. The first fight, the second time I already knew. But the first fight, I was like, yo, Fury is too big. And he knows how to throw his weight on his opponent. Fury will lean on your ass. Give you a 1-2, bang, bang, and lean on you. Put all them 300 pounds on you. Put that weight on you. Fury know how to do that. And that shit will wear your legs out. By the time you get to the later rounds, he's going to cook you. But Usyk, his footwork, his ring IQ, his ring generalship is so good that he just didn't allow Usyk to get on top of him and hold him and put his weight on him and do that. He didn't allow it. Movement, that lateral movement, the angles, Usyk is something else, bro. That's why he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and he's probably going to stay there. Probably going to stay there till he retires. But just remember, when he retires, automatically, Naoya Inoue goes to #1, and Shakur Stevenson moves to #2. So at some point, you're gonna see 1 and 2, Inoue and Shakur Stevenson. You could take that to the bank to get some pounds. Trent Thomas, yes, he fights well and uses great techniques, like his lead hand. Oh my God, he loved doing that. And the thing about the lead hand that I like to see about Usyk is the way that sometimes he jabs, and sometimes he just put it out there, and boom! and comes right there with the right hand. Nasty, nasty stuff. You see him do it all, he's jabbing you, right? And the 1-2, but then sometimes he go like that and just leave it there. Boom! Before you know it, that right hand going right down the pipe. Oh, my peoples, we didn't get to 40 likes, man. Damn, that's crazy. I tried, man, I tried. I'm about to finish this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. You guys know, man, this is for you right here. This is for you. I know there's some sneak haters watching and not hitting the like button. But if you enjoy the show, man, make sure you hit the like button. Salute to everybody who tuned in this morning. MAW, Devin Ford, Trent Thomas, Cy was in the building. Al, Shakur Hands. Salute my brother JJ's in there. Has Trail Bruce, Double AD. Whoa, Ramirez was in the building. The Hydro Grind. I am Rollie. Salute, family. Al, CEO Tune. And everybody else who tuned in, fellas, I appreciate every single one of you. Ojo Guandule in the building. Que lo que, mi hermanito. Y'all already know. Oh, the word of the day. MAW says the word of the day. Sometimes I don't give you the word of the day. So this morning, I gotta bless you with that. Trent Thomas. Yes, in martial science, we call it blind fisting. My peoples, let me give you the word of the day. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Always a good day to give you the word of the day. And as is the case in most cases, I want to tell you that the word of the day today is about taking care of you, about focusing on you. You see, my peoples, we all run into this in life. There's going to be somebody who has a project going on and they want you to help them with their project. If somebody started selling chocolate chip cookies, they want you to buy a couple of chocolate chip cookies from them. If somebody start selling plane tickets, they want you to buy a couple of plane tickets for them. If somebody open up a business, they want you to go to their business and support their business, buy something from them, right? But what do those people do for you when you got some shit going on? Most of them ain't gonna do shit for you. That's just the reality. People always gonna want you to support what they're doing, but they're not gonna support what you're doing. So just remember this. Most of the people that support you is the people that don't even know you. Look at you guys. You guys know me from this show and you support me. You don't know me in my personal life. You don't hang out with me. Yeah, you support the channel because you guys are boxing fans. You enjoy the sweet science. A lot of you know everything that's going on in boxing. You enjoy the show, but guess what? I got friends that I grew up with that have never hit the like button on one of my videos. Not once. Boom, not one like. I know people who have asked me to support their business and have never put one comment in one of my videos or even subscribe to the channel. So what does that tell you? Yo, if somebody don't support what you doing for you, then don't support what they doing for them. Don't waste your time trying to support other people when they not supporting you. Because that's big. In 2026, that's big. People always coming up with new ideas and they want you to support their new idea. But are they going to support yours? No. 9 times out of 10, they not. So you know what happens? When you're the go-to guy and you helping other people's shit, you never do yours. People will sidetrack you from you being great. You could be great, but you too busy helping other people be great. You see what happened to Mr. Tendonism? Mr. Tendonism blowing up right now, right? But they try to shit on him. The guy from Destination Smokehouse, what he did? Brought in all the barbecue cooking, all the barbecue skills from Mr. Tendonism. Then he was like, nah, this is my business. This my shit. Lucky for Mr. Tendonism that social media caught on and started supporting him. If not, Mr. Tendonism would have been cooked. Would have probably been in front of his house with a little barbecue trying to sell chicken wings and shit. Why? Because nobody was supporting him. So remember, my peoples, you supporting other people that are not supporting you is never going to help you be great. You're only going to help other people be great. So there you go. That's my last word of the day, my peoples. Help you be great. You get yours. Stop trying to get other people, help other people get their shit. You get yours. My peoples, there you have it. This was another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Jay Smith. I'm getting the hell out of here. One love, fellas. Bam. Bam.